Hello, you kick-ass gamers, and welcome back to Streets of Rage 3, ported from Sega Genesis onto God knows what. And in this part, we start Stage 7, the final stage. For players who are only beating this game for the first time, this is the final stage, yes.
Yeah, which is why we spent actually, it's why we spent 3 parts here.
We spend 2 parts here. The first part is just getting to the boss, the first part of the boss sequence, that is, because Streets of Rage love sequencing bosses. But of course we have to enter the secret syndicate headquarters proper, just at the break of day, when the ninjas are the most difficult to detect, especially because of this stupid-ass fence graphic that's blocking the bear traps on the ground.
Well, I see one bear trap that's obviously there, but oddly enough, the ninjas do not seem to trigger it.
No, enemies in general usually cannot trigger hazards, although they can be hit by explosives or bikes or exploding bikes. Nope.
Oh, that's not a bear trap. That's a wire trap.
Wire trap, whatever. It's you step on it, it causes damage. I can drive! Ow! Ow! Ow!
There.
I am the second wings! Ow! 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 Why do they give these guys so much health?
More wings? Jesus Christ.
Just stop it. Yeah, there's 2 of them now, which means that if you miss the timer, you can get fucked up. Yes, left wing and right wing. Jesus.
There we go.
And remember, the bike will continue to slide across the screen, so don't forget to jump.
Alright, so which character from Streets of Rage do you think would be a good Smash Brothers representative?
Axel Stone, yes. Like Little Mac from Punch-Out.
I mean, Axel Stone is one of the more iconic members of the roster, certainly.
I mean, all 3 of them usually are... Well, okay, so there are only 2 characters who have consistently been on the front cover art of every Streets of Rage game, from 1 to 4, and that's Axel Stone and Blaze Fielding. They are basically the 2 primary characters. Adam also is a primary character, but they don't give him the same amount of treatment because of how fucking absent he is during the series, for narrative reasons. So I would say that Smash Brothers would very much welcome probably both Axel Stone and Blaze Fielding, maybe just one of them, because, well, I mean, although they are wont to, let you have 2 characters from the same franchise, even if it's a niche franchise.
Not really. I mean, from King of Fighters / Final Fight, the only character that we've gotten so far is Terry Bogard, and he's still DLC.
Right, that they put him in the game and only one of him.
Right.
So, if I had to choose between the 2, I'd probably Axel Stone.
Alright. Personally, I think that we could actually use Blaze Fielding a bit better, simply because, well, we could actually use more chicks on our roster, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, if they wanted to do that, it's just whatever they see fit. And I finally used my first continue. Whatever makes sense to them. I mean, I find them both fun to play. Honestly, I thought it would be funny if Super Smash Brothers, if they did include both of them, that they made Blaze faster but a little weaker, and they made Axel slower but stronger. Because...
do you think you could figure out a special set loadout for each of them?
Well, when we get to Streets of Rage 4, you'll see you might see where Super Smash Bros. Would get its inspiration for a special loadout.
Alright.
Meanwhile, we must take on Mifune, while also watching out for Besune and Chiba. Also watching out for stupid wire traps that are surreptitiously placed in the background. Hoping we don't pay attention, hoping we forget in one momentary lapse of reason and lose about 40% of our health bar.
It's not 40%, it's like 20.
35. It's not pleasant. See, if either of us went in the wire trap now, we would die. You can get thrown into the wire trap.
Why is it called an M5?
Because M1 through 4 were inferior.
Wouldn't that mean you would just stop production on them then, and cease the numbering?
Well, these are the older models. We can recognize these guys both from Stage 6 and from the end of the last game. And yes, they have begun working on new robots. We are outside the robot production facility. The sign says keep out.
Don't look anything like modular and particle.
No, they don't, because they got like the round body on top, where molecule and particle kind of were more humanoid shaped with an actual head appendage versus just a body head.
The power of cutscene protects Dr. Zan. Uh-oh, Terminators.
Yes, they're going to travel back in time in order to destroy John Connor once and for all. Welcome.
Do you know the etymology of Connor as a last name?
The etymology? I mean, I believe it's Irish origin. Which you know, by extension is probably like Anglo-Saxon origin. Connor sounds like one of those last names like Wheeler or Miller, just like one of those stupid anglicized names that's like, oh, that's your last name because at some point your ancestor got a last name and it was Wheeler because they asked, what do? I make wheels. Cool. So you're a wheeler.
Yeah, but that ties their last name into their profession, and Connor would actually be, you know, I'm a con artist.
Who do you need to call? Better call Saul.
I'm not actually the biggest fan of the Ghostbusters franchise.
Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Something strange in the factory. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Yes, get off from the edge of the screen so we can hit you. Come on.
Yeah, Windows XP version 1 was very punchable.
So this would have been like
This would
Microsoft
have been
90.
Windows Millennium.
This is the prototype for Windows 95. An operating system I was very much familiar with growing up.
Now, Windows 95 would have existed by this point.
Probably, yeah.
So yeah, the M5 is the prototype for Windows Millennium.
And it grew legs and became angry.
No one likes me. My security features are too invasive and unfunctioning.
I cannot read your floppy. Scientist, where are you going? Give me back my floppy.
I don't actually know what a lot of the complaints about Windows ME are.
Well, I'm sure back in the day, they had a couple things that would have grind their gears. Loading time, booting time, crashing frequency. Where do the batteries go?
It's a PC. It doesn't require batteries. Hell, it's a PC's operating system. It too does not require batteries.
Please observe that our principal characters on the screen are advancing very slowly while Scientist cowers in the background. A lot of enemies and hazards by extension in this level, especially this one right here, are position triggered.
Okay.
There's a little plane of safety on the very far left of the screen. because these guys are very difficult to take on when the conveyor belt is under your feet, which moves you, but it does not move them during a punch combo, for instance. So you can use this strip on the far left so that these assholes will stand perfectly still while you beat the crap out of them.
Yeah, McLean and McBride.
McLeod.
Is McBride always a gangster henchman?
He's well. That depends. Would you consider a police officer on the payroll a henchman?
Oh, probably not. Honestly, mostly because I immediately infer that the henchmen have to be associated with a villainous organization, and socialcommentary.net.
That's well, I mean, McLeod would be a gangster name if the cops didn't take it. Ow. Okay,
Another death for the axe.
See, Michael, now we have the exact same number of lives. We're all caught up. Because, you know, it's heavily demoralizing to the player who's behind to see and observe and suffer how far behind they are. But now we're caught up. If I die, I use my last continue. If Michael dies, he uses his last continue.
Oh God, you're right. They don't move. Yeah, they're immune to the goddamn conveyor belt. That is not fair.
Yeah, and not to mention that there is a laser that keeps firing bullets in the background. If you're not paying attention, it's gonna hit you. And see, in the background, they were working on what was supposed to be Mr. X's upper torso, but decided not to finish the legs. The legs are actually in the other room. They might even be walking over here as we speak.
So it's gonna be the cyber hunters from Doom Eternal eventually.
Nice.
I still don't like Doom Eternal, damn it.
Doom 2016. What a classic.
Doom 2016 is way better than Doom Eternal.
See, Zan? Everybody can join in.
More robots.
This is a rather difficult gauntlet sequence. I believe you get a total of 2 apples for a lifetime. It's either 2 apples and no turkeys, or 2 apples and 2 turkeys, or 1 or fewer. So this basically is why you need momentum going into stage 7, because it is difficult. It is a little clusterfucky. Enemies can force your progression if they hit you to the right, because once the screen advances, it locks. You can't go back, and you may lose the footing you need in order to fight these guys the way you want to, which of course is safely. Individually, they're pretty weak, but altogether, combined with environmental elements, these guys can suck a big one. I mean, like a grade AA egg, if that even exists.
No, well, there are ostrich eggs and emu eggs, so...
Ostrich eggs are gigantic.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you thought you were done with these guys. Oh, no.
Yeah.
There's
More
2.
rockets.
There's lasers. There's a robot. But thankfully, they stopped the conveyor belt. Halt production.
Finally.
Halt production. We got assholes on the battlefield.
Unfortunately, Cloud had to use a continue there.
It's all right. I'm cool with it. This is our best recorded attempt yet. I usually had fewer than 2 lives on my last continue by this point. Just remember that they're building up your energy so you can follow through and finish what you started. Especially considering how many times you had to restart. Slow down.
I've noticed that a little bit in this game, especially during a Jet's boss fight, that there was a rather significant slowdown. How often does the game actually go into slowdown?
I mean, not often enough that it becomes an issue, because, well, that's why they designed the game, to not clutter it with so many fucking things happening at the same time, so that there would be no slowdown. This sequence right here is very clusterfucky. You got the environment in the back. They got the conveyor belt. That might even be the reason why they shut down the conveyor belt. Is because fuck this shit. Our testers can't have it. And in the next part, we are going to trample past this robot onto the boss of Stage 7.
Be safe, everybody.